Let's discuss about how to create a user list component which displays the users from a user REST API. So this presentation provides a step-by-step guide on creating the user list component, using the Axios API for fetching the data and displaying the data using user REST API. So first we'll create a user list component. Within that we are going to, in the React.js project, we are going to consume the REST API and try to display the data. So before we go further, I want to show a quick preview of how our user REST API will look like. So our user REST API contains an API to fetch all user information, creating a new user, updating the existing user, and deleting the user also. And here is the REST API for the user list. So this has been created by a Node.js. I have provided a link in the description section for the YouTube video in my Node.js tutorial on how to create this REST API. For more details, refer to that video. And here we have a users list, and whenever user any request come for getting the users, we are responding with all these users. Though these users can be come from the MongoDB and other actual data sources, to keep it simple, I made it as a in-memory users array DB. Then I have created a post method. Whenever you create a new user, it will go and push that user to the users array. Similarly, when you try to delete, it is going to delete the user, and whenever you are going to update, it is going to update that user. This API is going to run on the port 5000. Let's start creating the user list component. So here within the folder, create a folder called as file called as userlist.js. This will be our component name. Then within the user list component, let's go and try to import. So what we are going to do here, we are going to create user list component. Okay. And what are the other things we are going to do here? We are going to, yeah, this component fetch the data from the API and display it in the user format. This is what we want to store. And we'll be using the Axios library to fetch the data from the API. And at the same time, we will use a state variable to display the data. So as a part of that, yeah, first we need to go and import the uh, React, and at the same time we are interested in the use effect hook and the use state hook. So these are the two hooks which are required for displaying the fetching the data and storing the data. Then as we are in need of Axios, we are going to import the Axios package also. So I'm going to tell you how to install the Axios package. So we can stop the application for a while, and the command is npm install Axios. So this is going to install the Axios package, and we can verify the same thing in the package.json. If you observe now, the Axios package has been installed in the package.json. Let's get back to the user list component. I'm going to create a user list component here. So I'm going to create a variable to store the users. Here I'll say constant user set users. I'll have a state variable, then again have a use effect created to get the data from the Axios. It's very simple what I'm doing here. I have axios.get. So here I'm going to run my server, and I'm going to replace that API. That is what is used for that. Yeah, so let me go and keep this application, and you can refer to my use effect videos for more information on how to use the use effect API. So here our server is running on a specific path. So I'm going to show you how the server application is going to look like. So this is our server, and it's running on 5000 port. Let me go and initiate this server here. Whenever you try to select, it will always point to the PowerShell. I always recommend to select the command prompt so that you don't get any unwanted errors. Let's clear the screen. So I'll say node and server.js. So with this, my server is also running, and all these code bases have been available in the GitHub repository. I will give the links in the description section. You should be able to look for the reference. Now let's verify our user API whether it is working fine. Yeah, if you see that I'm able to get these three users. So what we are going to now, we are going to display these three users in our user list API. So here is, we are back to our application. So what we are going to do now, we are going to replace this API with our users API. So that is what we have. Let me go and try to replace this API here. Yeah, once this is done, so let's go and try to um, write our JSX. So here what I'm going to do here, I'm going to display my user information in the table format. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, as what you call, typing all this information takes time. Let me go and try to get the code snippet, and I'm going to explain that one by one. So here is the code snippet. I'm going to explain each and everything in a proper format. So let's close this application and again close this component. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So now, okay, here let's me give a quick recap on what exactly we have done. So here we have created one table, and in the head section, then we have a T body using map. So map is a method available in the JavaScript arrays. So users is an array here. So whatever the users we are getting from the backend is nothing but an array. We are mapping through the array and creating a table row out of that. So with that, we should be able to see these items users list in our, whenever we use this component in our app component, we should be able to see the users in a table format. Okay, let's go and try to export this array, export this component. Okay, then let's go to our app.js. So we'll remove all other information here and try to display the, yeah, how we are going to import the user list. Let's go to the user list. Yeah, we have imported the user list component, and we are going to render the user list component. Okay, let's run the application now. So to run the application, we are going to use the command npm start. So here you are able to see the user list with ID, username, email, and phone number, whatever has been displayed over there. So what I do is I'll try to add simple styles to this, but otherwise the main focus was on displaying the user list component. So we have the ID, username, email, and phone number over here. So let's go and try to do small changes to this user list component. So what I do, I'll go to app.css. You know, right? Every application will have app.css, and I'll go and try to change little bit styles for the header and table content over here. So let's go and try to quickly change some of these styles. Okay. In the interest of, I'm going to go and copy these styles, and I'll try to explain what exactly we are going to do it. Here we have a made the app to be center. We have given some styles to the app header. We have given some styles to the table, here, TD. So that's what, as we are using more of tables, so we have defined some styles. At the same time, in order to make even it is better, what you can do is you can have one more css that can be created for explicitly for your user list component if you want to make it even good. Okay, anyways, now what we are going to do here, let's go to this app.js and let's do some quick changes to this app.js to reflect things. So instead of keeping this in the header section, so what we do here, we'll go and try to create a main tag, and yeah, so then we'll keep our user list component, and here we'll mention this as uh, probably we'll say it as user list management, user management system. Okay, Done. So let's see how our output looks like now. Yeah, if you see that it's looking good. So we have with some headers and we are able to display the information in a good table format over here. So we can keep updating the styles. Even if you want even to be better, you can even have create separate userlist.css and you can go ahead and apply the styles over there also. Okay, that will you can try the different combinations of those styles. Okay. Now let's go and do a quick recap on what exactly we have discussed as a part of this. So we demonstrated on how does the REST API will look like, and we created a user list. Then we have the use effect. Then we have within the use effect using the Axios we got the data. Then in the JSX using the map method we have rendered the data, and in the app component we have imported the user list and these necessary changes, and we have run the application. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned to for how to create a new user, edit the user, update the user in upcoming video series.